In this video, we'll see how to use the Sentinel GIS Adulticiding mobile application. I'm using a Trimble device, and I'm going to select Sentinel GIS from the Start menu, and then I'll select Adulticiding as the application to run. ArcPad will start up and automatically open the map and connect to GPS on the internal device, and it'll come up to a login screen where I can specify username, truck, chemical, spray route, and so on. Now at this point, the communication cable from the sprayer should be plugged in, the sprayer power should be turned on, and so on, so that data is available to the Adulticiding application. So I'll select the username. The activity will be fogging, the truck ID, the chemical I'm using, and then in my case fog route is not configured, so that's grayed out. I can enter in a temperature as well as a wind speed and wind direction. So then when I log in, it will immediately start reading data from the sprayer. It defaults to a status screen which shows speed, flow rate, fogger status, and the connection status. If the connection status shows a red X, it means that no data is coming from the sprayer. Perhaps the cable's disconnected or the power's off. The status is very simple. It's green if the sprayer is on, turns red if the sprayer is turned off, and then it turns yellow if you're getting a warning that you're near a no spray zone or off route if you're using routes. I can click on View Map and I can view the map at the same time. The map controls are the same as in other Sentinel mobile applications. There are tools to zoom in and zoom out, so I can click zoom in and then draw a box to zoom in on a particular area. There's also a fixed zoom in. I can do fixed zoom out, or I can draw a box to zoom out. The globe will zoom to the full extent of the map. There's also a command to go back to the previous extent, or go to the next extent. There's a pan tool which lets me grab the map and move around. There's an option to zoom to a particular fog route if I'm using routes. That's grayed out because it's not configured. There's an option to zoom to my current GPS location. In my case, it's the last good GPS connection. Right now I don't have a fix because I'm indoors. The drop down underneath Zoom to GPS has GPS preferences and restart. GPS preferences should be auto-configured for the device that we're using, but we can come in and change things if we need to. I can look at the GPS position window, which I can also get to just by clicking on the little GPS ribbon. That'll show information about the GPS satellites being tracked, my direction of travel, and so on. There's an option to rotate the map. If I use this option, then I can manually rotate it so that, let's say, it's oriented east. This isn't auto-rotated with my direction of travel though, so it's not all that useful, but I do have that option. And then there's an option to clear the rotation, sets it back to a north orientation. There's an identify button. I can use that to tap on a feature and it will give me information about the feature, including my spray points. It'll tell me my speed and flow rate and so on. There's a measure tool. I can use that to get distance measurement information. And there's a radial measure tool as well. and those are just common to all of the Sentinel applets. The Adulticiding toolbar has only 4 tools on it. The little clock tells me how long I've been in the current activity. The little gears button will take me back to the status screen. So this is a toggle back and forth from view map to view status. There's an about that tells me the version. And the stop button is the big red square. That would be the same as doing an end session. So let me go ahead and do that. It asks, are you sure you want to quit the current session? Yes. And at that option it summarizes my last session, and I have the option of either starting a new one or logging off. So let's say I had finished spraying in this neighborhood and I was driving to another neighborhood. I would start a new session and then specify the details again and log in, and then it would immediately start recording data again. So the operation of the program on the mobile device is very simple. Essentially log in and let it collect data. If I'm using spray routes or no spray zones, I would want to keep my eyes on the status. Warning here would show up if I got close to a no spray zone or was off route, in which case I could look at the map and I could see what I needed to do to get back on the route, etc. So when I'm finished, I'll end the session and then log off. That will close ArcPad and shut down the GPS connection. So that covers using Sentinel Adulticiding on the mobile device.